The Kalki Purana, Part 2, The Military Campaign of Lord Kalki. This video is a continuation of the Kalki Purana, Part 1, The Descent of Lord Kalki. There, we learn that he will appear around 427,000 years from now. We also learn the purpose of his descent and his youth and marriage, as narrated by Sutta Goswami. Lord Kalki's mission will be to remove all the many demoniac beings from the world and establish the golden Satya Yuga. We pick up from the beginning of the more unpleasant aspects of that mission. As he left the birth town of Shambhala, his first military target was the sinful city of Kikat, inhabited by humans within a semi-celestial realm of karmic retribution. Unwilling to embrace religious or moral principles, Kikat's forces ran out to confront Kalki's army. But the Lord's army was strong, and they pulverized their degraded enemies. Kikat's leaders then sent their knights to attack. Some of them rode on horse-like creatures with teeth resembling crocodiles. It was a frightful sight, but Kalki's men prevailed. With his forces on the verge of defeat, the Emperor of Kikat, Jin, entered the scene. He believed in nothing but his own sense gratification. He personally attacked Kalki with all his might and even managed to knock him from his horse. The battle turned into hand-to-hand combat, but eventually Emperor Jin's body lay dead on the ground. Shudodan, brother of Emperor Jin, then attacked Kalki and his closest allies. Unable to defeat them, Shudodan then used his mystic powers to summon a version of Samara Kali. She caused chaos on the battlefield, proving to be formidable. However, when Kalki approached, instead of attacking him, she simply merged into his transcendental body because she was a devotee. With Kalki's army encouraged, the onslaught continued. Millions of arrows were fired and elephants and various other animals entered the battlefield. There was a mass of blood and flesh strewn across the land, and many of the male enemy perished. Kalki's men were then shocked to see an army of Kikat women astride various types of vehicles, preparing to attack. Following Kshatriya warrior code, Kalki refused to engage them. But after some words of diplomacy, the women still poised their tridents in attack position. But by the Lord's arrangement, the weapons spoke to the women that carried them, explaining they will not be able to injure Kalki. After more words of reason from Kalki, the army of women stood down. After that, Kalki and his elite team went on to defeat some giant Rakshasas who dwelled in the forest. They were the great-grandchildren of the famous Kumbhakarna. When Kalki's armies explored the earth, they found much of the ground to be desert-like, the trees short, the air foul, and humanoid settlements dishevelled, full of scavengers, everything in decay and smelling of dead flesh. As soon as the news spread of the advance of Kalki's army, the degraded humans gathered armies and attacked in full force. Kalki and his men proceeded to kill all the remaining agents of Kali on the earth who took up a weapon against them. The Shakas and the Kambojas were vanquished by the celestial weapons of Maru. Devapi finished the Savaras, Cholas and Vavaras. During that global campaign, tens of millions of demoniac entities were slain. Then the demon twins, Kok and Vikok, appeared on the battlefield. Having received a benediction from Lord Rama, they were impossible to defeat when close together. Their heads and limbs would even grow back. Kalki had to separate Kok and Vikok first, and only then could they be killed. Kavi, commander-in-chief of Kalki's armies, went on to slay another 10,000 barbarians. Pragya and his forces killed 1,000,000 others. Meanwhile, Kalki and 100 of his soldiers launched an expedition against the demons of Earth, including Kali's citadel. After the degraded and demoniac armies had been wiped out or scattered, events took a strange turn. The pious leader Sasid, an immediate descendant of the demigods who took residence on Earth, bravely challenged Kalki. After an intense battle, which was spectated by the demigods, Kalki intentionally accepted defeat from the king. This was an act, a leela, relating to a boon owed by Satyajuraj relating to a previous life. Also, Kalki wanted to respect his senior and empower the next noble generation who were destined to rule the earth. Kalki actually ended up marrying Satyajuraj's daughter, Rama. Eventually, there'll be one final mission remaining. Kalki's armies will discover a fortress within the mountains, occupied by the Naga, the serpent people. Naga guards there could squirt screams of poison from their mouths. Kalki and his men slew them all. Inside the fortress, huge amounts of gold was in storage, but it was protected by female Naga Kanyas. There was also Vishkanyas, a race of reptilian humanoids with venomous blood and saliva. Only Kalki could safely enter the fortress, as many men who had previously entered had perished. There he saw a particular Vishkanya who was different from the others. She explained she was cursed to live a life of loneliness due to previous offences. Merciful, Kalki arranged for her to be taken to the heavenly planets and a divine Vimana. After the military campaign to replenish the earth was complete, Devapi, Madhu, Mahamati, Suriketu, and Kalki's brothers were all given parts of the world to rule. When returning to his original home in Shambhala, Kalki awarded the descendants of Kritavarma and Vishak with the rulership of the central providences. He also dutifully awarded immense wealth to his parents. So the righteous order began to reign, and the people all over the world grew pious, happy and prosperous. And so it was, or will be, that the auspicious Satya Yuga came about. Lord Kalki's mission was fulfilled. Thanks for watching. Share with others.